I'm just thinking of all types of shit. You know, I'm not sitting here, nothing's programmed, all right? Now, I thought Eddie Williamson did a tremendous job. Here's what happened. Larry Bechtel's here from the Jets, and Paul Alexander, Greg Robinson. In pro football, you get so tied up with pass protection. I mean, you talk about guys whizzing by you. Jesus, you talking about guys that are, geez, you can't figure out how to block them. You talk about all this stuff. We're so tied up with pass pro that in the run game sometimes you forget to go back to the fundamentals and some of the things that Eddie Williamson talked about, which foot you extend off of and which is your extension leg, which is very, very important. And like I said, we get so tied up with the pass protection, how we're going to get guys blocked and so forth, that you kind of take for granted some of the things that you did in training camp. That was just a point that it brings back some of those things. What I want to talk about is that all the high school guys I've talked to, college guys, say, Jim, we can't run this 16, 17 play, this 18, 19, this straight plays, because we see all these crazy defenses. And you're right, and that's what's happening in pro football now. You can still run your basic plays, but the point I'm making, when these teams play gap defenses, okay? And what I mean by gap defenses, I'm not going to drop every defense, but there's a guy smack ass in the gap, and he's blowing right through there, right? They put a 3 technique in the gap, hell, he's blowing right through that gap. You put a guy in that, you tell me a guy that knows how to run the counter, the Washington Redskin counter, they put a guy smacking that gap and blows the gap. Well, the tight end would have to be Vince Lombardi to get a block. You can't get it done. The point I'm trying to say is that you have to have gap plays. You have to have gap plays when you're playing teams that play a gap defense. Like the Jets, the team we play next year, their coaches are here. They put guys in the gap and penetrate, and it's a lot easier to trap them, a lot easier to run counter plays, it's a lot easier to run weak side counter plays than it is to run your straight plays. Okay? But again, if you're going to run your straight plays, they're going to cut back, because penetration is going to make you cut back. So you need to run some down blocking schemes, okay? And the reason in pro football that they haven't done as many gaps. Hell, they've done everything in pro football. It's come back and say, pro football, it's nothing tricky. Huh. You got to try to coach with all those blitzes and stuff. Oh, boy, we see more defense as you do. Yeah, well, you try to coach the pass protection. You've been calling me on the phone after about the 3rd day. Coach, what the fuck do I do? They're coming from everywhere. They're starting up here, crossing here, so whatever. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make to you is you do not want to be a rookie NFL coach and have to coach pass protection. Of course, you have to do it, but you don't want to do it, okay? You can get along in the running game, okay, but you don't want to be into that pass pro. All right, now, the point I'm trying to say, what are gap plays, okay? Now, gap plays are plays, let's start with the weak side. And these are things that most of you generally know, okay? But let's talk about going to the weak side, or to the X end, to the open end, all right? Now, gap plays are plays that only should be run weak, and I won't draw tackles and backers, I'll just draw 3 guys. You see that look right there? Whatever that look is called, all right? I don't care if there's a man on the center or not. Move this thing back a little bit, all right? You see that defense right there? If they're in that defense, you can run a weak gap play. Well, how many of you guys see that defense to the weak side? All of you. Every game you see something like that, right? You can run your weak side gap game. Okay, which we'll cover in a minute, all right? And maybe that's the only plays you run that week, all right? All right, how about to the strong side? Well, on the strong side, because you've got the tight end over here, all right, are you with me? You can put a man in that defense right there because the tight end has a chance to block down on him, but generally, you'd like to have somebody like that, okay? Same thing, going to the strong side, okay? I'll pull this back a little bit, all right? So what I'm saying to you, when there's reduced defense, when they're kicked down, when they're an eagle, when there's a 3 technique, in particularly, you lick your chops running your gap plays. Now that doesn't mean they're always going to break for big yardage, but there is holes you can block down and so forth. All right, now, with that in mind, we have various types of gap plays, all right? And we try to keep the blocking all the same. So, for example, to the strong side, all right? I'll draw 3 different types of gap plays going strong. And we like to keep the blocking assignments the same, okay? I'll draw it against a 50 front, then an even, different fronts. But let's just draw it against the basic front to begin with, all right? And I'll just call these guys linebackers and so forth. Some of these things are things that you know, but again, we can draw 3 different plays, okay? 3 different plays with the same blocking scheme, okay? With a little adjustment here and there. Alrighty, and let's go down here to this baby right here. Alright, same defense. Okay, so these would be strong side gap plays, alright? Alright, first of all, if you run the counter to the strong side, I don't care if you teach the back to cram it up in the hole, bounce it outside, all those coaching points you had, but the blocking schemes, these two guys right here have got those two, alright? He's got this guy right there, okay? You all with me on this? The tackle always secures the inside. He may take 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps, jump inside, but he's going to work down there and then gate back, and the center's basically got that territory. All right, you're going to pull the backside guard, okay, and you're going to pull somebody else, okay? So right there for us is counter blocking. That's 38 counter for us, all right? So the second puller for us would be a tight end that's off the ball or a back in the backfield. You know, your second puller. You know, he's got him and he's got him, all right? Is there any questions? Now, that's counter blocking for us, okay? All right, now let's say we want to go ahead and run the same kind of scheme, but we want to run trap blocking for us, all right? So trap blocking, everything starts the same. Here, he's going to kind of gate the backside. He's going to help, but you see what we're doing right there? All right? So we don't have to say, boy, you got 1,000 different adjustments. We just don't block the defensive end, or what you call the tackle. Then somebody else, for example, a man in motion or a guy here's got to block that guy, all right, and we give the ball an underneath handoff, and that would be like a trap. So if we want to run 14 trap, the blocking assignments aren't a whole lot different than 38 counter. You understand what I'm saying to you? What I'm telling you, we don't have, on 14 trap, he doesn't block this guy. You know, on your trap blocking, your tackle blocks inside backer, he turns out. We want to keep everybody on some sort of a down blocking scheme. We want the tackle to protect the run-through or a man on the guard or whatever, okay? So there's an example. You can keep the blocking schemes the same. There's a few adjustments here and there, right? But it's down blocking. All right, now let's go to another play that we call power, all right? Power play is, again, and we'll have different people, so forth. These two guys have still got those two. He's still got him. He's blocking the backside. This guy's got him, and the guard's up in the hole. And you're running an off tackle, power, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you guys can see that, if it's in the way. But you see what I'm telling you, that your gap scheme strong are all pretty much the same. Other than one guy's up in the hole, one guy's kicking out. One guy's the first pull. You understand what I'm saying? But for these people right here, the tight end, the tackle, the guard, the center, the back guard, and the end, the boom, they all have got pretty much basically the same rules, all right? The puller may go up in the hole, okay? The puller may trap somebody. The puller may have the end man on the line, but you don't have to worry a lot about the backside because your tackle is doing a double duty. Okay, let's draw the same thing versus an eagle defense, right? So there's 3 different gap plays going strong that you don't have to really alter the blocking assignments, right? Let's say you had a defense like this. Here, a backer, an end, a backer, an end, and a backer, okay? I'll just draw that 3 times. Alrighty, we got all that happy horse shit going right into here. Alright, same thing right here. And this makes your selection of your plays a lot easier because of what I indicated. All right, let's say you ran the counter. Well, these 2 guys have got those 2. He's got him. These 2 guys squeeze that guy. So the center's got help from the tackle. And then the tackle can come on out and pick up that guy, right? That's the counter, right? He's got this guy. All right, let's go with the trap. Over the top, all the way back, same blocking scheme here. Boom, there's your trap, okay? Somebody else has got the outside backer, a back. All right, let's go with the power. The power, these 2 have got those 2. He's going here, he's going here. He's helping. Somebody else has got him. The guard's up in the hole. All right? So what I'm saying to you, counter, trap, power, all the same blocking. Counter, trap, power. Your gap schemes, right? If you have too many different assignments, now, what would screw you up is if you wanted to run a trap like this. Well, then I tell you, you probably got too many plays. All right, you want to run a trap like this, okay? And I'm talking in pro ball in particular because of all the where you want to double those 2, send him in like that and do that, something like that. Well, we don't have that. That doesn't fit in with counter blocking. That doesn't fit in with power blocking. That, if we wanted to run it, that would be another type of a 4-hole trap. Counter power trap, all the same. Counter power trap, all the same. Somebody might be different puller, kicking out and all that. You can figure that stuff out. Are you with me now? Okay, now let's go to the weak side now. All right, now, let's stay strong for a minute, right? Let's go strong side. Now, you would love to run a gap play when they're in one of these strong side reductions. You see that look right there? Now we want to run to the strong side, okay? Now let's talk about just that basic front right there, okay? This guy's generally in a 5 technique. I tend to draw him kind of sloppy, right? Let's just say we're saying that this guy's coming, this guy's coming, this guy's coming, this guy's coming, he's dropping, all right? As a rule, all right? So when you block over here to this side right there, when you run counter, power, or trap, you don't need this guy to block down, all right? He can soften that guy by releasing a little bit, right? These two guys can block those two. He can block him, all right? You've still got a first puller. You've still got a second puller, whatever that. What I'm saying to you, there are times that you don't have to take and continue and block everybody back. Are you with? Because you know that guy's got the contain. So when the tackle steps in and comes back, they're not going to bring 2 of them anyway. So you can pick up an extra blocker on counter, power, trap if they're in a strong side eagle. All right? Rather than, I'm just showing you theories on gap plays, all right? Rather than they're in a strong side eagle, okay, you got your gap responsibilities. All right, by gap responsibilities, the center would have to work here, he'd work here, he'd work here, he has to go all the way back. Well, why block this guy all the way back here if he's going out? You with me? Why block these guys down where he can penetrate? Let's double team him to him. Let's let the center block the nose alone. Let's release him to soften that guy and widen him. I'm drawing kind of fast here. But I'm trying to give you an indication that if you run a gap play to the strong side, you can pick up an extra blocker, because what's happening over here? When it's a reduction, when they're kicked down strong, there's a son of a gun coming like a bitch out there. Okay? Question?
You consider those 3 together as a package?
They're a package. Counter, power, trap.
Okay, but now, in the trap, with the tight end getting the front side linebacker,
You know, tight end, yeah, the tight end would go over the top. He would not block the defensive end. And you'd only want to run the trap if you said, oh my God, we are playing the Washington Redskins, and they're putting Charles Mann in that gap, and we're trying to run the counter play, and this guy's in a 3 technique, and we got to block the tackle down, and the tight end can't handle that guy. He's blowing up field, right? So we bring him over the top for the middle backer, whether he's there or there. Now, when these guys block down, they can block way back because we're going to trap him. And somebody else would block that guy. Yes, the tight end blocks down, but for the backer.
what kind of backfield action?
That would be an underneath handoff on the trap.
Would it be delayed of some sort?
No, it would not be delayed. It would be a full flow and an underneath handoff right here. Boom. Okay? All right, now let's go to the weak side. What I'm leading to, I'm going to put on these plays. So at least I've covered them, all right? Not drawing them perfectly. You'll see them. We'll isolate them. All right, let's go to the weak side, all right? Weak side, same theory, all right? Now, let's say what we said first, though. First, though, we always, not forever, but we always want that look on the weak side, or we want the backer walked away. Let's say they're in this look here, all right, and this guy, the weak backer's walked away, all right? That would tell us, let's count them, all right? Over here, we've got one man outside. We've got a contained man. We've got a contained man, all right? We've got basically a reduction. We count that as a reduction because there's not 2 guys outside. There's only 1 guy outside, all right? Now, let's go to the weak side now. The weak side plays, all right? All right, what can our blocking angles be? Here, these guys can double here, right? You can get a puller on this guy, right? You can get another puller on that guy, right? 2 guys, I don't care what they are. You got 2 guys that come over there to the weak side. All right, you got the same thing here. He can go all the way back. He can go back. You got a puller for this guy. You got a puller for that guy. All right? Now, if you had 2 guys on the end of the line, no good. Boomer would say what? We called the weak gap play. No, I don't like it over there, baby. Check out me something. Let's go the other way with something. So what I'm saying to you, when we call our weak side gap plays, we need a reduction. We need a kick down. Or we need this look with this guy walked away because we don't have the luxury of a tight end there to block. Okay? All right, let me show you our weak side gap schemes. Okay, the weak side gap schemes are this. All right? The weak side, here's the best formation, in my opinion, okay, to run the weak side counter. All right? All right here, okay? Now, the two receivers might be on the other side making it three receivers. What I'm saying to you, this guy might be over here. This is a tight end. All right, now take a look at that formation right there. All right, it's better with three receivers. With three receivers in the game, they put a nickel defense in, or they're a little more worried about pass coverage, all right? All right, you see the tight end is off the ball. He can still block onside, okay? All right, now let's talk about the weak side plays, all right? All right, let's say we get some sort of reduction here, all right? Whatever we want to call that, all right? Forget the backside, and we want to run the weak counter, all right? Now these guys can double team here, back here. He can take the nose alone. He can be the first puller, and he can be the second puller, and you're going to counter step the back, right? Does everybody understand what I'm talking about? That you got enough people to block, and you don't have to pull the tackle, okay? So you don't have those problems of the penetration, right? Now this guy might be back here. Are you with me now? Might be a back in the backfield, it might be a tight end in the backfield, all right? But you can run the weak side counter. Why? There's a reduction, there's a kick down. Okay, you with me now, all right? Who's going to protect the backside? For the center of the tackle, squeezing in and turning back, which you'll see on the film. All right, now, let's talk about the weak side power. Okay, the weak side power now, watch this one right here, all righty? You might have a guy in the backfield. He might be right there, okay? He might be there, all right? But we're going to run to the weak side, all right? All right, so you got a reduction. It doesn't have to be a nose guard, all right? Let's say he's over there, all right? You like the weak side play? All right. You put him in motion, he kicks the guy out, right? You got these two on those two, he's got him, the guard's now up in the hole, all right? And you run off tackle with a front handoff. You understand what I'm saying to you? You are not running the counter, you're just running a handoff. But that's the weak power, guard up in the hole. Somebody kicking out. Weak power is only good versus a reduction. Boomer would say, the zebra personnel, triple right flip, Rodney left, 15 Julie. Okay? 15 Julie's our power play to the left. Rodney's going to go in motion. Okay. Put him in motion. Ball is snapped. Now somebody else runs over with him. Maybe we come back and do something else over to the other side. But all right, now let's say we put the guy in the backfield right here. All right? Are you with me now? Let's say we've got, say all these people are opened up over here, right? Let's eliminate those people right there, okay? Is that 11 guys? All right? Everybody spread out to the right. You opened them way up, right? Picture a receiver. They're a little nervous about the passing game, all right? Is it okay? Yes. 15 Julie. This is the kick out guy right from the backfield, right there. Here's the guard up in the hole. There's the off tackle play. There's the power play weak. There's no tight end, right? So we have to have a reduction. So you can run a front out play with a guard up in the hole. You can run a counter play with counter action in the backfield. Okay? Is there any questions on what we just talked about? Or here's the other one, which will just confuse the issue, but we will run counter action with a trap, we'll run counter action, but we'll run it as the power. We'll take this guy across and block, give a little counter fake, and pull the guard up in the hole, okay? That's called something else. That just confuses the issue. But the point I'm trying to make is that you can run weak side block down plays, strong side block down plays, and that is, if you got strong side block down play, a weak side block down play, and your straight plays, then you can play the whole game with that tailback back here in the I formation, okay? Which he's running the off tackle stuff. That complements it, okay? But it's getting to be where you can't run the straight plays the whole game because they take them away from you. Now, also, this is a good gap play. This play works. All right? They put a guy in this gap. They put a guy in this gap right here. I think I covered this last year a little bit. All right? Now, who did I tell you was the thorn in our side? The 3 technique, all right? All right, let's say you lined up in 2 tight ends, okay, and you put a fullback right there, and you say 32 or 33 trap. Check with me, all right? And we're going to trap the 3 technique. He might give him a head fake, go back here, boom, boom, right up the poop chute, right there, all right? Let's say it was reversed, the 3 techniques on the other side. You know, the defense lined up with the guys on the opposite side, we just trap the other way. Check opposite. 32 trap. This is 32 trap. We call 33 trap. What I'm saying is we call 32 trap, all right? All right, and this guy's in a 3 and this guy's in a 1. So at the line of scrimmage, we just check it to the trap. You know, but that's the only way we might run the trap this week. If you got 2-3 techniques, boom, right up the poop chute. All right? Those are gap plays, all right? To run one of those drills like Coach Sherman had. All right, now let's talk about the moving pocket, all right? Now, in the moving pocket that Eddie was talking about before, and I got to use my deal up. Now, we're going to get to the gap plays. We like to spread everybody out and sprint out, because when we spread everybody out, they go to a nickel defense, and we can get the corner. All right, now, so to keep it consistent now, let's talk about whether we're sprinting out strong or weak, all right? Let's just draw a regular defense. This is just theory, all right? The quarterback, whether he's under center or now, you can have a tight end, a split end, and all, they go crazy with it, all right? Let's just draw up a regular 50 defense. All right? All right, so let's just say we don't have the luxury of a tight end, all right? Now, here's the things that would hurt a tackle. If we just kind of reach block like this and whatever, this guy comes right off our hip and picks us. You understand what I'm saying to you? Where if we did what Eddie did, you know how Eddie kind of stabs the guy here and, you know, then helps the next guy, they'll run different tricks like this over here. So the tackle will, you know, the tackle will stab this guy, but and then that guy will be free, all right? Or let's say we're open to the open end side right here, and this is Reggie White, or some ungodly human being that you don't see, right? I mean, whatever, and you let this poor back block the guy, like Brad Scott says you can do sometimes. Well, I'm telling you what, that Reggie White or Bruce Smith will annihilate some of your guys at times. Now, sometimes you can block. The point I'm saying, here's what we had to do on our sprint outs when we didn't have the tight end there to block, and it worked. We would take the tackle, and whether there was a guy on him or not, we'd pull him. He'd lose ground and pull and use his hands, right? You see what I'm saying? Now, let's say they're in a 50 defense, right? And say this guy crashes in like that. You see that stunt there? Say this guy crashes in like that. Then the lead back coming off the tail, the tackle would pick him up. This guy would pick up the scrape backer, the back, and the guard would pick up the end coming in. So when we run a sprint out pass, we pull the tackle. He parabolas. He loses a little ground. I don't know how far he goes. He goes 2 or 3 steps, and if he don't block the guy, he turns back. So he doesn't get picked. All right, now, the next problem you got is the people inside. When the tackle pulls, there's a great big hole here that the guard can't cover. So we actually have the guard jump way back with his inside foot. He uses like a slide kick. What I'm saying to you, if you're watching me and I'm the right guard and I'm in a 2-point stance, I'd probably be better with that foot up, then I can get over there farther. You see which foot I moved? All right, so the right guard, the ball is snapped. If I drop my inside foot first, I can get over to cover that area where that tackle pulled. So this is kind of a sprint type protection we use. I'll just put it on, and again, I don't want to make this a major part of what I'm going to cover, but what I'm saying is these are just little tidbits that might help you out. And you'll see some of them. We do this in the nickel, because it's always a bitch about who blocks who. find it. Where's it? All right. All right, watch. I think we're probably going to the left because Boomer's left-handed. Watch Anthony. See the center of the left guard? That's the only way you're going to get over there is to lose ground with your inside foot. What I'm saying is that there is an area here where if he just went and kind of stabbed that guy, that he'd come underneath him and nobody blocks him. There's gray area.
Jim, where do you teach the weight? Where's the weight? Where's the weight on?
What's that?
Where's the weight on the feet? He's got to step to the inside. Where's his feet? Where's his weight?
Oh, I still think that this guy here, the tackle, oh, the weight's on this foot now. You put a push off that leg right there. It almost looks like the guard's going straight back, but you've got to lose ground to gain ground. Of course, the center, because he's got a little more weight forward, you'll see he jabs up slightly. We don't try to overcoach him. You kind of ricochet one guy to the other. You see what happens in the nickel? You see what happens in the nickel? You know when it's 3rd and 100? When it's 3rd and 100, this guy thinks it's a run. Well, nobody would say you can't do this. You'd say that guy will never block you. Now, where is the point that he decides that the back can block him and you turn back? There's the gray area. Now, here's what we found, though. When you've got an offset nose guard right here, the center just block it. Just block it. Because by the time this guy comes to here and he penetrates, we had to put this guy on the nose.
How come some guys are down and some guys are up?
Because we let him stay, because we'll do a lot of pass blocking from the up stance, all right? So we don't want to do everything from down or everything from up. We let them go down or up as they please. Now, this is another blocking scheme. Now, these are all gap plays. They're not in sequence, okay? And again, there's some good, some bad. All right, now, what I tell you now, what this defense is right now, this is a tight end off the ball, right? That's one back. We got 3 wide receivers, all right? We want to run the weak side gap plays. Can we run them? Can we run them? All right, good. All right, now these 2 guys right here are going to block those 2. You got me? The center's going to get security from that guy, right? And then he's going to have to block him. We got one puller, we got another puller. So this is the weak counter. Now remember what we talked about last night when we run double team plays? What did I say? Again, I can't remember these exactly right now, but what step would he take? He takes the gap step and then he tries to do what with this other foot? Get all of them. You forgot. Get all of them, right? And there's the head position. If the guy goes over the top, he helmet adjusts, all right? Watch this guy. He'll kind of take a drop step, use the forearm. Let's just see what the left guard. See the left guard? See the left tackle? What kind of step is the left tackle using? How about the left guard? Angle step. He's dropping. How about the puller? Now there's a little bit of a touchy area back here, but when the quarterback fakes the bootleg and the tackle just gets a shot on him, okay, then you say come up. But you see the problem that you do not have right here? You see that tackle? If you make this poor bastard block him alone and you pull these 2 guys, you're going to have a lot of bad plays. because the center doesn't know how to block this guy. Should he put his head in front of him and he goes like that? Should he put his... You know, we've even had this guy split us when we got these two guys to block him. All right, now, Anthony's going to try to hit this guy with a forearm, but he disappears, so he puts a hand on him. So what we would call here is trips right. We don't even have to say the tight end's back. Trips right, flip, or trips right, or triple right. 35 out. Be aware from the check. Boomer says it's okay, it's okay. Now what do you think that happens in our league with about 95% of our counter plays? What do you think this guy makes us do? Bounce it outside. So we block it like they're all going to bounce outside. We don't do like other people do it. I'm not saying it's where we force the play inside and create the natural log. We actually go for the log, and the second puller goes outside. Because if you go for the kick out, then the second puller is always cramming it. What I'm saying to you, if this guy comes upfield, he kicks him out. The hardest thing is to have the second puller go to the outside. So we actually make the second puller think outside. All right, now, we're going to go to the strong side now. So that's called the what? Power. But we're releasing the tight end. Now we tell this guard, these guys close so damn hard, just run right by him. Run right by him and the second puller will block him. The only problem we found is we don't want to do this anymore. We're pulling a tight end, 2 men remove. It takes them too long to get there. So right now we only want to pull the tight end from there. See, this is a wing. This is a guard tackle. He can't make the decision soon enough. Well, that's it. All right, let's look here. They got 1,000 guys over. They got one too many guys there for us to block. But you see the gap scheme? That was a pleasure to try. All right, now, we're going to run a gap scheme to the left. Same blocking assignments, basically. Power. Watch the center of the back tackle. Watch everybody block down. We got this guy there to kind of influence him, all right? Watch the gap step by Munoz, but the guy goes with it. Watch the left guard. What does he do? See how the center kind of gates? See, the center doesn't have to block back real hard because he's got security by the back tackle. Power. We got a lot of them here.
Coach, do you run any to counter in a short yard situation?
No, but we should. Power. Counter. You know, I think they jumped to the defense at the last minute, so he just blocked the guy on him. All right, now let me show you another thing that I think. Just observation. You see this puller? Same thing, all right? Whenever a guy pulls, the man should press the gap to the outside. Set up the block and don't cut back. What I'm saying, the same thing as all other theories, all right? When you have a guy pulling up in the hole to block a linebacker, so here comes the line, don't square up on him like that. You see that? Because the guy's going to flow. Have your shoulder turn like that. And the back will keep pressing the outside part. Let him continue, then you break it back. Power. Watch the left guard. You see his block? Watch that. Is he firing out and knocking the shit out of the guy? He's got a what? Demeanor. See his base? You don't fire out and knock somebody back, because then your feet are close together. You can't possibly come off the ball as hard as you can and blow somebody out without your feet being close together. Unless the guy is so close to you. Power. All right, now, center and left guard are covered, right? What does the left guard end up doing with his feet? Gets all of them, right? You're losing me. What I'm saying to you, see the little head fake in here? He comes back and gets all of them with his feet. He covers him up so the guy blocking down doesn't get split. What about the left tackle? He got behind the guy. You see him get behind the guy? Don't step here, get behind him. All right, now, we want to run over here. This guy's kind of dicking us. We think somebody else can block him, but we weren't counting on this guy right here being the play. So let's say he's obliterated. We're going to bring this guy in motion, the tight end. All right. But we let the tight end go too far, right? He should have ended up logging him. The second puller ended up coming around anyway, right? And now we're running a counter action with power blocking, right? He made a damn good run. But what I want you to do, watch the double team between the left guard and left tackle. See the guy go with the left guard? All right, now we're going to the tight end. What's the play? Power. The left guard looks a little soft because I think he thought this nose was going to jump way across his face. So he's kind of coming upfield on. But watch the right tackle. What's he doing on his second step? Getting all of them, right? Getting all of it. Now we bring another guy over here. All right, now, what did I say right over here, right? Watch us release that guy. See him widen him? Now, I see what the back does, but if we go by the same premise, let's not make it too complicated. Where should the back keep the ball? Outside the guard's head. You see, but we haven't really, where do you keep the ball? Same thing. Running back. Help that pulling guard. Stretch it for a while. Don't cut back those plays where you're going to pull a guard up in the hole. Stretch it, then cut it back. Let's go a little bit farther here. What we got? Now we're running. Now this is a shitty block by the right back. All right. All right. Now we have split backs, which you don't use often. All right. All right. What's the play? Counter. Power. See the guy in motion? He's trying to influence that outside backer. Now they're blitzing everybody here, but Munoz ends up taking 50. The center ends up nicking somebody else. All right, look at this scheme here. Now you're playing against Philadelphia. When you play Philadelphia, they play an 8-man front. Are you with me? 8 guys in. Well, you do not want to put 8 guys in or 7 guys in. All right? You see what you want to do? These are the biggest holes against Philly versus that formation. All right? Now, you know what this guy is right here? He's a tight end. All right? So you spread them all out. All right? Now, what is this play here? Is this the weak power?
Yep.
All right, now, if you're talking about the theory I talked about last night, where should the guy kicking Reggie White put his head? Across the bow. Helmet adjustment, right? You understand what I'm saying? Don't make it too complicated. Here he is. Put your head down the middle. You're trying for inside-out position. Right? How about the double team on 74, Pitts? Watch the right guard. What's he doing?
Cover him up. Excellent.
Watch the right guard. What's he doing? Drop. He's taking a gap step, drop step. He didn't fire out. But the timing is better than if you just blasted out as hard as you could.
For that reason, you're backed off the
Uh,
ball.
you don't have to be backed off the ball. You just bide a little time with that first step. If you can see the run through, you can see whatever else you want to see. But since that was a straight play, you understand what I mean? You keep the blocking scheme the same. But what I'm saying is, on the counter, I don't think I explained myself very good on that one right there. You want to run the power and the blocking the same, all right? So what I'm saying is, the one is full flow, right? This is a counter. This is a counter play, right? These two guys are going to block that too. Counter, any counter play, right? So you take the jab step, the influence, boom, boom, cut up. Now when we run the power, we do the same thing. Keep everything the same. When you say you're showing the flow right now, so what? The timing is better when that guard goes boom, 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 boom. Because if somebody runs through, he's going that way. If the guy goes with him, he can take him. What I'm saying, just blasting out and double teaming, the timing is screwed up because the back is so deep, you can't pick up a run through, so forth and so on. Okay, now, let's go to different types of down blocks in that scheme. All right, now watch this. Let's say these two guys are doubling those two. All right, you with me? Now, this guy right here can do the same thing, come back and get all of them. He can drop and put his forearm and head in there and forearm and knock the shit out of the guy. Because his man is way back here. He can block down on an angle, all right? Now, let's say the two guys they're blocking are right here, all right? He can do the same thing, all right? But he's only going to put a hand on, because that guy can run over the top sooner. You understand? The nearer the backer, the more this guy doesn't get buried into the block. Okay? Now, sometimes we have a blocking scheme like this. Let's say these two got those two. Are you with me? These two guys got to double that on the front side, all right? Now, this guy would only put a hand out and come back. Now, this guy wouldn't take the side step. All right? Are you with me now? This guy right here, all right, because these two now have got those two on the front side, he would get all of them with his feet, but where do you think his head would be? You understand what I'm saying to you? You've got some sort of a play where these two got those two and you want him to hit him first. Well, hell, this guy might run over the top in that gap right there. So now the right guard can drop step, hit him, but have his head inside so he can see the run through. Now this guy right here, because this guy's over him, he has to put only a hand out because he can't get his shoulders marked in. The point I'm making is we have three different blocking terms for when the guard and tackle double team somebody, all right? So if the guard and tackle are double teaming back here, that's called a gapping. So we're always gapping it for the far backer, all right? All right? When the guard and tackle are double teaming for a mic, okay, whatever that's called, right into here, we call that a tag. Gapping, we only use a tag when that's our guy, okay? All right, and then when you got this look right here, and say the ball is coming here for and he wants to hit him and whatever, because this guy, these two got to combine, he might run inside, that's called a wedge. The point I'm saying is that they know, hey, get on practice the wedge. Hey, guard and tackle, get on practice the gap. You don't say we're wedging on all these things, okay? The point I'm saying is, the closer the man is to the tackle, all right, the more that tackle would use the hand to come off on that guy, all right? All right? And the only time the guard wouldn't take a gap step inside is when the two guys are on the onside rather than the backside. So all our double teams between the guard and the tackle, the guard takes that little side step. I will still say that. The counter's okay, the traps are okay. The off-tackle play. Woody Hayes invented it 50 years ago, 40 years ago. The fullback belly, to me, is the best play in football. Now, whether the guy runs it from 6 yards deep, 6.5 yards deep, 5 yards deep, off tackle. Hammer the son of a bitch. That's where you make your living, okay? All right, now if you're an option team, that's a different story. But the best straight football play, in my opinion, off tackle. All right, now here is the thing that we found on our off tackle play, right? And this is just, I may have talked about it before, but it's worth verifying again, all right? You're just going to run over here, off the inside leg of the tight end, all right? That's our aiming point. The thing we have found, when you run off tackle, run at the inside leg of somebody. Influence somebody with your back. Okay? All right, now, let me show you where there's a running lane. There's a running lane right there. You see that running lane right there? But what do everybody do, including you and me and everybody else, teach these running backs when they get to the line of scrimmage? You can all say, Coach, you're right. How do you teach your shoulders when you get to the line? I bet you every single one of them teach you to square the shoulders. Am I right? Is there a backfield coach in here that doesn't tell his back to square his shoulder? You know, he's got that drop step crossover like this. You with me now? Like this, right? Let me show you where there's a big running lane that occurs, right? The offensive tackle, right over here, all right? He blocks his guy with the drop step or whatever. And that guy moves. You know, he doesn't want to get hooked. All right? The guard blocks his backer, but the backer kind of sniffs around and he don't go as far as he's supposed to. See, the backer might only go to there. That means this guy over here, the guy the tackle's blocking, might be way over here and the linebacker might be right there. There's a crease right through there. You see that crease? Everybody with me now? I lost anybody. So what I'm saying is, don't tell your running back to square his shoulders. Tell him to take his drop step, crossover, whatever the footwork is, but chase the tackle. Chase him. Chase the inside leg of the tackle. Then when the running back comes into here, you with me? He'll chase the tackle and he can find that crease. Now, if this linebacker fills hard, then he'll cut right up in that hole. If the nose guard comes hard, he'll cut back. All those other things. But you'll get more out of your off-tackle play if you don't try to square that back's shoulders up. You with me now? Okay, so with our running back, what we found is that here are the 4 possible things on our 16 play, all right? That chase the offensive tackle. Drop, crossover, chase there, all right? All right, there's a lane right there, right? If the linebacker fills hard, then cram it right up in there, all right? If the nose comes and goes to tackle, you cut back, all right? And the other thing we teach is, there are great big holes at times, total stalemate. You understand what I mean? That guy blocks him and nothing's happening. This back chases and he bounces it outside. So what I'm saying to you, a total stalemate. Your tackle, boom, nothing's, no read. He didn't go in, he didn't go out. There's a gaping hole right over here, okay? Because what has happened is, this outside backer has gone with the tight end space. Or he might have gone, what I'm saying to you is, those are the reads the back uses. The point I'm trying to say, I'll put a little film on before we go, about the chase lane, Now, here's the point I'm trying to get to. When the guard is covered, let's say you're blocking a 4-3 team, something like that. Now, that's the best guy to read, okay? When you try to come out here and run it wider over into here, and then they cut back, this guy comes right off his block. That guy comes off the guard's block into the inside because he cuts way back. So what I'm saying is read that guy. So when the guard is covered, the back runs at the inside leg of that guy, right there, right? Because the bigger holes are here, 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 here. But when you run too wide, you can't pick up the cutbacks. So the point I'm saying is that when there's a bubble over the guard, the back looks at that man. That's the only guy looks at. Don't look at the linebackers. You make them cut back to read the down line. When the guard's covered, then that's the guy he influences. He runs right at that guy right there. And then if the guy goes in, he goes out. The guy goes out, boom, all those things. You'll find the chase lane. Question?
Quarterback adjusts his track to the ball.
Quarterback knows that if we're running 16, he's going to reach a little farther, but on 14, check 14, he's a little deeper, but to the defense it kind of looks the same. You know why? Because that man on the guard moves when he sees the guard drop step. Okay? Now, what I'll do is, I'm jumping around here, but for you guys that have followed our 16-17 play forever, I mean, you know, the same guys come every year. I mean, if somebody would blow my mind if they said, Coach, teach me your 16 play. Ugh, shit, you mean like I gotta talk about it again? You know what I'm saying? Well, what I'm saying, the guys have been coming for years know what 16 is, right? Now, let me show you the reason we changed. If I can find the thing. Okay, just a couple of clips here. Watch the back here. Instead of running wider, watch him who he's influencing. Okay. Let's go a little fast for you. Okay, here we go. All right, you get the side. All right, now, what I'm saying to you, if the back ran 17, off tackle, he'd be running over here, okay? But he can't pick up all the cuts in here. So now watch where he runs, at the inside leg of this guy. See the cut? Now the running back's cutting back too soon. This back, all right, you understand what I'm saying? He should take it one more step. But this guy's making him cut back, so he's not too bad. What I'm saying to you is, when you run here, you can pick up the cut off this guy. But when you run over here, you can't pick the cut off that man. Are you with me? So the point I'm saying is, run at the down lineman. If this was a 50 defense, let's diagram it here. There's an end and a backer and a nose. Then that's the guy you run at, because you can pick up the cut back on him, right? When he's covered, run the play at that guy. Now, we don't want the play to always cut back, but what I'm saying is, what I'm telling you is, the biggest holes are where the bubble is. So 16 becomes 14. Watch the backs course. See it? Now the backside guard, see, I didn't know as much about this a year ago, but now I'm not going to take this guy as far. I can take him a little stronger in here because the back, this is like the nose guard. Excuse me, this is like the defensive end. That's like the nose guard. The center doesn't have to lead him as far, right? The nose guard. Watch the center move the mic back. See him move him? See him put the hand up? See the guy move with the center? See the stretch of the play? Now this ball doesn't cut back quite as far, I don't think. That's why we like big backs. Watch the key over the guard. Watch the right guard. What's he doing? Robson, he's dropping on his toe. Want to drop on it. But see him move the guy? If you fired out as hard as you can, you wouldn't get the length of your dick. Because that guy would, what I'm saying is, you hit this guy as hard as you can on a straight drive block, he'll stone you. But you make him move a little, he'll move. Where's the chase lane? You see the chase lane? He cut back too soon. Now you might have to break an arm tackle. You understand this guy's spinning? You see that chase lane? You see it? So which guy should he chase now? The inside leg of the hoop. All right? The defensive end takes a couple of steps upfield, maybe one, maybe two, and then he loops inside, all right? There's no contain. A fast-running quarterback will kick its ass. But what I'm saying to you, when this guy picks the tackle and he runs a stunt, it's tough. It's almost like two guys in the same gap. And they like to do that to that side. They can't do it over here to this side because this guy's too far away to do it with that guy, right? So I don't like these two guys to block those two guys alone, right? Because of the stunts. So I like to bring the center over here, right? So the center's waiting for that guy coming in. Beautiful, right? They're crazy. We play an under team, right? Guy plays an undershift, an eagle, strong weak, slide the line. They break both backers, keep two backs in. Who gives a shit? Don't block them where they aren't, Okay? So now, the point I'm making is, when we do that, when we slide the center over here like that, this guy can aggressively go get him. Are you with me? Because if he misses him, he's got two guys over here. This guard right here, he can just turn. You know what I mean? Like turn like that. Because if this guy takes this gap, that guard won't switch off. But if the guard blocks normal pass pro, he'll have a tendency to say, oh, I better switch off. But because everybody's sliding, the guard can just turn. You got your territory, the center's got that territory, and the tackle can be aggressive. It's probably a junior high protection, right? Everybody's blocking the gaps. But don't forget, the quarterback's going straight back, so if you turn your shoulders too much, you'll come right into the quarterback. So what I'll do now is, I will show you on film the fact that when we slide block, this guy can bail, you know, he can turn. That makes him make his decisions easier. This guy can jump him, because if he misses him, he's got the center waiting, or he's got the guard waiting, or whatever. So I'll try to put on some of that slide protection now so you can get a picture of it. Which way are we sliding? The nose is offset. All right, where can they do the most stunts? To the left? No, over here, right? The nose is offset. They can do all this shit, and they can bring the nose around. Over here, the nose guard doesn't trick as much with that guy. We don't care if they do. Screw it. We can pick it up. It's when this guard pulls out here to pick up a backer, or I want to move these guys over here. You with me now? Now watch this guy turn. He just turns. Watch it. Watch the right tackle. What's he doing? Jumping, right? You see who he's backed up by? What's Anthony doing, the left tackle? What's he doing? Jumping. Off which foot? Inside. See him jumping? Don't pass block him. They want you to pass block so they can pull all their shit on you. You know what I mean? They can slap your hands down, butt you, swim you, bull rush you, all that good shit. You know what I mean? Jump them. So you're watching a bail by the guard. You're watching a potential. Watch, what's Anthony doing here? Jumping. Now what's the right tackle doing? No, right tackle's not jumping him. He's using what we saw in the film. What? He's covering it with his what? Where's his weight? All right? Films don't lie, right? He's in a what? Demeanor, right? All right. Watch Munoz here. Yeah, I'll get through it clean. I get sick of looking at these photos. Jesus Christ. All right, now we're going to slide. Which way are we going to slide? We're going to slide right. Everybody in the ballpark knows it. The coach knows it. The line coach knows it. The defensive linemen know it. We don't give a shit. If you can beat this, fine. All right, don't we? Watch the right guard. What's he doing? See him turn? Now what does that make him do? That makes him not switch this stunt, right? You see what I'm saying? Well, who's waiting for the stunt? Center. So the right tackle doesn't have... What if the center was staying right on this guy? Then these two guys would have to take those two. Then my tackle would have to back off, right? Because he's going to get picked. Then these two got to switch that off. Does everybody understand what I said? If I don't have center help, then those two guys got to worry about that stunt that I hate. What's the stunt? See the guy? In fact, this guy isn't really picking him. He's just driving this gap, and they're bringing him in here. Well, hell, if you had a good running quarterback, you'd kill him, right? They don't keep contained like the old days. So the right tackle don't care if he got... What's Munoz doing? Jumping him. Jump the son of a bitch. Jump him. Which way are we going to slide? To our right. Watch the right guard. What's the right tackle doing? Maybe the one-arm pistola, he's conscious of that right hand. How about his feet? So now the tackles will look like shit. All right, now which way are we going to slide? To our left. Watch Munoz. He pulls up on him now, right? What about the right tackle? Using the one-arm pistola, right? Okay. Let's get to another team. I'm tired of this team too, guys. Boy, these guys are cocky too. All right, here's Cleveland again. Which way are we going to slide? Right. Now what's the right guard doing? He said, I want to have a little fun too, right? So he jumped him, but off the outside foot. Right tackle didn't get off the ball. All right, what's the guy doing to Munoz? Knocking his hands down. Watch it. He recovered. Which way are we going to slide? Right. Right tackle. Kind of a semi-jump, right? How about Munoz? What's he doing now? What happened the last play? The guy did what to his hands? Knocked him down, just like that film we showed you, right? So he says, hey, fool me once, shame on you, right? Fool me twice, shame on me. Watch what he does now. What's he going to do?
Jump.
Fake the jam. Disrupted his timing, right? What about the right tackle to finish the block?
Cut him.
Got him. Fuck him. How about the right tackle? What's he doing? Jump on. Which foot's he jumping him off? Outside foot. How about the left tackle? Well, he's really jumped on him, hasn't he? What do you notice about slide protection? Good, bad, or indifferent? To the side of the slide, there's a big what for the quarterback? Throwing lane. Left guard's not very good here. But see him turn? Anthony missed him, right? He jumped him. Or see that stunt? Who's waiting? Center. Right tackle's kind of a semi-jump. What did he do with his feet? He covered him up. See the shoulder turn? See his demeanor? Where's his feet?
What happens if the linebacker comes in?
Fullback's got it.
No, left linebacker.
Center's got it. They can't put them all in the same gap. And what they will do, they'll take this guy here, they'll take this guy here, and bring him here. Then Anthony's got the widest guy. Get to another team. Oh, here's a blitz. What about Munoz's feet? Oh, look at the right tackle. What's he doing here? Jumping him. What about the right guard? What did he do? He jumped him.
Coach, you'll allow your right tackle here to jump without protection from the center?
Yes. As long as he's got a pretty good, he's in a 5 technique. Because when he takes the drop step, he can recover. But if he stepped forward, he couldn't recover. Get to another team. We used a lot of slide protection because this team used Reggie White. Clyde Simmons over here. The right guard gets beat, but there's the center weight. Or about the right tackle? He didn't jump him, did he? He's got a strong what foot, though? Inside foot, see it? Totally square. Now, I'll show you some film here. You see how, watch him finish the block. Watch both tackles finish.
The leg whip.
Watch the right guard. That's what we call forcing the switch, right? Now, you see his guy loop, force the switch. You know what I mean by force it? Boom. That's an attitude. It's a demeanor, right? If you pick up one thing, when you go to switch on a guy, don't wait on him. Knock the shit out of the guy. Knock his ass over. Watch the right guard. The guy looped, right? So what I'm saying to you, this guy's looking at this guy, right? He goes like that. Here comes a guy. Obliterate the guy. Boom. Knock him down. Watch his protection. You know, sometimes we're stupid. I'm stupid. You put this guy on him, well, that's his guy. Tight end staying in. Screw it. When that guy's like that, step in. If he blitzes, he's going to blitz. What I'm saying, watch what happens when we keep the tight end in. Watch what the right tackle can do versus this defense. How many double teams you're getting? So if a team played a defense like this, see this defense? Your tight end is half-assed at all. What can you do? You can slide the center one way, right? You can move him over here for this. You can squeeze this guy, let him block it, right? Munoz, get him. Stick it. Left tackle. What did he do right at the end? Jumped him. Cut him. What about the right tackle? He's not jumping, right? Just normal pass pro. Left guard. Here comes the looper. You know what I mean by a looper? Cut him. Cut the looper. How about the left tackle? He's not only jumping him. Now he crossed right over. I don't know why he did, right? Knock him down a couple of times. I got a couple in here if I can find it with the guard. Did a hell of a job cutting him. How about the right guard? Now he kind of lost the guy. See him right there? Trying to find it. There it is, right guard. See it? You're looking at it. Not a great athlete. He's not even with us anymore. Watch it. Which way do you think you cut the guy? You cut him to the side that you're getting beat, or to the side he's pulling you to, or the side he's going to. Oh. Okay, there was some cuts. But when he pushes you back, he's going to take a side a little bit, here or here, right? When he takes whatever side that is, drop down to that side and lose a little ground and throw that shoulder and forearm and cut them and roll up their legs. If they're pulling you more to the inside, drop the inside foot, throw that shoulder and forearm and roll up their legs. I would do it to our own guys, except our own defensive line coach would say, Jim, no. I don't blame him. But he says, Coach, let me practice this in camp, please. It'll help you, it'll help out, it's going to hurt our people, which would happen. But if any way you could let the defensive coach because then you know what I'm saying, you could practice it. But you got to practice it on dummies and bags. Remember, whichever way they bull you, they'll favor a side they're pushing, drop down and cut, throw through that leg with your shoulder, just like you were taught to throw, you know, like a back would throw and cut. It'll work, believe me. And I'll tell you, cut these guys here. If you see any stunts like that, that guy coming around, cut him down. You'll fall down just like a tree. If you're dropping straight back, in my opinion, is put 3 on 2. Or if you're playing a 50 defense, you know what I mean, a 50 defense, just a regular Oklahoma, slide the line. Put 2 backs on these guys. I don't care. Screw all those fancy flare controls and all that stuff. You're not going to get the quarterback's going to get their shit kicked out of them. Because what do they like to do to the weak side? They like to do all these nice little tricks, right? Bang, 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 bang. They don't do so much over here to the tight end. Got too far to go. And they like to, when they show that weak guy coming, they got to show the coverage a little bit more. Thing I want to go over here real quickly, and we covered it earlier. I'll just put on the films now. In the nickel, when it's 3rd and long, we're almost done here. And when we're 3rd and long in the nickel, remember we covered this stuff last night. The center's going to slide one way or another. This is the Gilligan side. This is the side they can run all the stunts on. So you will see, last night you saw some of this when the center was covered, right? And we were sliding. Now you'll see him really humming. Pass pro, 3rd and long. You'll see the center slide when we're seeing a little more stunts and a little more pass rush. But what can this tackle still do to the side of the slide? He can jump, he can bail. Okay, so I'll show you a few of those. All right, which way is the center going? What's the left guard doing? Bailing. You know what I mean by bailing? That's the turn that gives it a soft shoulder. You see the left guard turn? Now that's not great pass pro. You don't like that because it's a soft shoulder. But what I'm saying is it cuts the seam down for the center. Now, so what does this guard got to do? If that sucker hit that gap, you better take it. Bam, finish it. Because you're giving a soft shoulder. What's the left tackle doing? He not only jumped him, he fucking really jumped him. All right, now which foot do you think this guy's going to move first? Now just look how wide his base is. If your base is real wide, you think you can move your outside foot very well? Probably not. Let's see what he does. Which foot did he move? He moves his inside foot. Because he knows this guy is not going to come inside immediately. He's got his outside foot back. He's going to have to take 1, 2, 3 steps. So watch him get depth. Why doesn't he jump it? Because he's on the what side? Gilligan. Which way's the center going? Why do you think the center's going right? What did I tell you the first thing we're worried about? Not 3 techniques so much. You see that fat ass right there? He's number 96. His name is Cortez Kennedy. We don't give a shit where he is. We're going to put 2 guys on. We don't give a shit if he lines up over here. The protection comes first. Right tackle's using the old one arm, because see the move 79's trying to do, see him trying to knock the hand down, the outside hand? Where's Kennedy? He's over our left guard. What's the left guard doing now? He's forcing the switch. All right? Now, the right tackle jumped the guy, but the slide's not coming to him, right? So, but why can he jump him? See how wide he is? He's not worried about a stunt. Watch it. So the slide's going this way. Watch what the right tackle does. It worked, right? The dreaded one I hate. T.E. Pick. What's the center doing? Waiting right for it. Munoz is jumping. Well, hell, he can't get the guy. We got 3 on 2, right?